again. We're coming back again. Welcome back. We're doing another live stream because the last one was epic. If you didn't catch it, it was on Wednesday this week. So 3 days ago, it's Saturday morning now, and we're not going to go outside. It's a wonderful day here in Stockholm. The sun is out, and we're going to stay inside and we're going to build and we're going to make money. And we're going to build a web application. And I think what we want to do today is focus on basically what every other indie hacker gets wrong. What is it that they get wrong? Is it their tech stack? Is it their idea? Most of the time it's their entire focus that's on the wrong thing. They're like, I am going to just put my head down and code. So that's the wrong thing to do. Why is that the wrong thing to do? Because when you're trying to make money, it's not actually about the code. It is about your execution, but it's about your business idea, actually. And it's like your funnel and it's your business model. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today while still coding. This is a coding channel, but that's going to be the focus. Ironically, the first thing you can see here is my VS Code editor. I switched from Cursor to VS Code, but I think it might be time for me to switch back. So that could be the first thing that we do, Cursor IDE. And we're just not doing what I preach. See, this is my whole point, right? As coders, we care about technologies. We care about IDEs. That shit doesn't matter. It kind of does, though, but it doesn't matter. But you see what I mean? Like, it's not about the tools you're using if you're going to make money. So just to make a point, I'm not going to be installing Cursor. That's just a form of procrastination. Instead, I'm going to make you watch this guy, Mark Liu, and I'm going to zoom in so you can actually see the content of this page. And I'm going to zoom in my VS Code as well, because this is a big screen. But Mark Liu is an indie hacker. The indie hacker community is growing. You have a bunch of guys and gals making money online. I think everyone knows Peter Levels. He was definitely my inspiration for this whole niche of coding to make money online. You know, you got different niches. You got the e-commerce bros doing Shopify stores with no code. You got marketing agency bros like Iman Gadshi. What's that other guy's name? Luke Belmar, like these really big YouTubers, right? In the e-commerce and drop shipping and marketing SMMA space, and they're popping. But then on another corner of the internet, you got Peter Levels, you got people like this guy, Mark Liu, and they are actually coders and they're building stuff with code whilst making money. And what I like about these indie hacker guys is that they're usually a lot more open about what they're making. They're not just in their thumbnails or YouTube videos making these claims. I guess these claims could still be false, but if you look at someone like Peter Levels.io, at least at one point, he did sync his description with Stripe. So you knew that these figures were correct. Now, he might not be doing that anymore, but we're talking about a guy that's most likely making like $100 to $200K, $200,000 per month. That's more than 2 million a year. And this guy is in a similar range, maybe slightly below that. The reason I wanted to focus on Mark Liu is because you might not have heard of him. You might not have seen this guy on Twitter, even though you might knew who Peter Levels is. So I thought it would be interesting to focus on someone that's slightly lesser known. And Mark Liu is an interesting case because he makes the big majority of his cash flow from an app called Ship Fast. If you go to his page, there you go. He's actually syncing with Stripe. Now, it's interesting. The Stripe number here is lower than his Twitter number. But that could just be a rolling time interval technical issue. I'm not going to get caught up on that, but he's living in Bali. He has a newsletter, but really what's driving the majority of his income since beginning of this year is a developer product. It's called Ship Fast. If you check out Ship Fast, you'll see that it's this bundle of tech, and he's making some claims about how much time you're going to be saving with this product. It's $169 for the starter, and then if you do the all-in, you pay $30 more and you get some extra stuff. So this is a guy who knows what he's doing, because he gets it that it's all about the offer. What is he really selling here, guys? Does anyone want to put in the chat what he's actually selling? You could make the claim that Mark Liu, this indie hacker, is selling software. But is he really, though? I mean, if you look at the bundle here, Mailgun, Tailwind, Nextjs, what is he actually selling? It could be software. That's one way of looking at it. But I think the correct way of looking at this product is that he is selling you time. He knows his audience, developers. So he knows how much work it is to get something out of the door. And we're going to get something out of the door today. That's the purpose of this live stream. As I said, it's a beautiful day outside, but we're going to sit inside and build something today. And I was thinking we could use this product, not only as a case study, but actually try it out, because I haven't tried it out yet. So it's going to be interesting. Ship Fast. I'm not paid by Mark to do this. I just thought it would be interesting, and we can give it an honest review on this stream live. So do you guys agree that he's actually selling time with this product? Because he claims here to ship a side project usually takes 2 days. I mean, that sounds reasonable. 2 days, 4 hours to set up emails, 2 hours for SEO tags. I'm not sure about that, but the gist here of his point is developing takes a lot of time. So we're going to put it to the test. Are we actually going to be saving time? I think I'm going to buy the starter pack, because I don't really need another Discord membership. I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty tired, sick and tired of Discord communities. I spend a lot of time in Discord. The last thing I want are more notifications. Lifetime updates, though. That's a good offer. Do you see what he's doing here? He's making me consider buying the all-in. Because, I mean, lifetime updates, the thing with software is that it gets outdated pretty darn fast. So I might even buy the all-in. He's got this social proof page of people that have bought it. But let's see what we actually got. There's a bunch of technologies here or a few that I haven't used. I mean, Nextjs is my love child. I use it all the time. Same goes for Tailwind. Same goes for Stripe. MongoDB. That works. It would be cool to try a lemon squeeze. I haven't tried that before, but we'll see. And then next auth. I've only tried that once. So because this is software and software gets outdated real quick, we're going to buy the all-in. And I'm purchasing this live. So I'm going to be putting in my actual info here. I hope I don't get hacked. Don't hack me, guys. But this is my company, my VAT. I'm going to have to look up real quick so I can get some money back at the end of this year. Give me 1 second, and then we're going to buy this product by indie hacker Mark Liu, and we're going to get something out of the door today. And I have a pretty good, I think you guys are going to be interested in the idea that I'm going to be building today. Okay, here we go. Here's my VAT number. Yeah, VAT, pay, don't hack me. And we're getting $100 off. Awesome. Well, that's like a standard sales tactic to always give you a coupon. Awesome. So we got in. Let's join the Discord, even though I'm going to mute it immediately. Let's join the ShipFast Discord. Accept invite. We just made Mr. Mark Liu, the French Mark Liu, $200 this morning. Or I guess it's night in Bali right now. Okay, so we're in the Discord. As I said, I'm going to mute it because I don't like being disturbed. Suppress, suppress, suppress. Mute until I turn it back on. Boom. Okay, I'm not going to follow you, buddy. Updates. So this is interesting. This is his product updates page, it seems like. So lemon squeezy, he actually introduced just 10 days ago, earlier this month. And look at that. He even has documentation for this bundle. All right. As I said, it's Discord. I'm not super impressed. We're going to instead just get right into it. Yes, that's my GitHub username. We're going to request access to this GitHub repo or boilerplate. And by the way, you can follow me if you want to get indie hacker ideas for coding projects. Now we're going to go to GitHub and we're going to not go there. That's my other project. We're going to go to my profile page. And let's see. Here we go. I just got an automated invitation to ShipFast. Awesome. And what's this? I'm going to accept that as well. So we got 2 invitations. ShipFast TypeScript and ShipFast. Okay. Obviously, we're going to use the TypeScript one. Yeah, they even archived ShipFast. So let's not think about the native repo. Let's think about the TypeScript repo that we're going to be using today. So ShipFast TypeScript, Haymaker. It's Mark from ShipFast. Let's get your startup off the ground fast. Sure, I'm going to start this. Follow the Get Started tutorial. Awesome. They're linking to the docs. Let's just get started. I'm going to create a new repository to work from. Open. Actually, let me do this. Terminal. CD documents list. Cool. And we're gonna start from there. Start a local server. We're gonna clone this. Git clone. Boom. Right. Because it's a template, you have to enter the app name, or you can enter an app name and it will create a repository with that name instead of just cloning the repository template. So let me redo that. Remove ShipFast. Let me zoom in. I forget that this is a big screen. And we're going to do this again. Git clone, ShipFast, TypeScript. And what are we going to be calling our app? Well, this is interesting because this, a name is important. A name is not everything, but it is a key aspect of a successful project. So I think I'm going to call this CGTOW, SegTow. And yeah, I'm going to explain what that means in just a bit, but I'll leave it as a cliffhanger for now. Okay, we got the template down. We got the app up. We can cd into it, SegTow. And we can open it up in VS Code. Documents, SegTow. Boom. So this is just a Nextjs project. Let's see if it's actually running the latest version of Next. Got a bunch of dependencies here. Next, 14.1. That seems pretty recent. Cool. Let's see what this project looks like. Is it using PNPM? I recently switched from Yarn to PNPM. It's way faster. So I would recommend that if you haven't done that. PNPM install. And we're going to give this a few seconds. Write in the chat what you're working on currently. I'm just going to give some context here. I am building a web app in 3 hours. This beautiful Saturday morning. I'm calling it SegTow. Stay tuned. Okay, we finished installing PNPM dev. I can remove the old lock because we're not using traditional NPM. That's for people who don't value their time, which we do. And let's see what this actually looks like. So to recap, we're using this template that we just bought for 200 bucks, which comes with Stripe built in. It comes with authentication built in. So we're saving a bunch of time. Okay, cool. It's just a blank page. If we click login, can we sign in? Great. We need a client ID. Now, I'm not sure if I want to use Google. I think what we need to do right now is give some more context about what we're building, because that's going to drive the whole fucking thing. And I can't swear now because we're like 10 minutes into this. So I'm going to create a new Figma project and we can brainstorm what this app is actually going to be. Create new design. And good for us, we actually practiced Figma a few days ago. That was our last live stream. So we're calling this SegTao. Now, have you guys heard of Blind? Blind is this online community for big tech software engineers or software engineers that want to get into big tech. It's this service that you can use to basically gossip as a software engineer. And it turns out software engineers love gossip. For some reason, I can't find it right now. Here it is. It's teamblind.com, right? So if you haven't used this site, it's like if you want to hear about how it's actually, what it's actually like to work at one of these big tech companies, Google. What are they actually making? Here's a guy making 500K, or these are his offers from Meta and Amazon. Here is a guy asking about if the company Jane Street, he has like an interview question. So this is a community for software engineers interested in that whole corporate big tech scene, right? It's pretty genius. It's like fun to learn about this insider baseball stats. It's just highly entertaining to sit and scroll through this. I don't use it a bunch, but I remember when I was interested in this sort of path, when I actually thought I was going to work for a big tech company, which I did partly for a short while, 1.5 years. I worked for a big fintech company. Then I was like reading these sorts of posts. I did realize fairly quickly that this sort of life was not for me. It's just an energy mismatch. I felt spiritually castrated after just a few months at that company, even though it was a very valuable experience. It taught me good practices for large scale software projects. But the downside is that you do tend to get castrated. You get put into this big machine, right? You work in a small team. Yes, you have some level of agency, but it's like, it's nothing compared to doing your own thing. And it's just not for me. So that got me thinking about these sorts of communities like Blind. What about people like us, right? People like me who have realized big tech is not for me. I hate this corporate environment where you are not allowed to be yourself. I hate this sort of tracked life path where you're not thinking, you're just doing what everyone else is doing. And if you're watching this, you're probably feeling something similar to this, where I don't want to go down this path. It pays really well. As we said, 500K. This guy got 2 offers, almost 600K each for these big tech positions. But you got to ask yourself, is your soul worth more than 600K a year? And I would say mine is, and I think I can make a lot more than 600K following my own soul. So I want to make a community for people like us, people who value our soul, and we don't like this sort of vibe, right? So back to Figma, back to our idea. What are we actually building? We're building Blind for people like us. Yeah, that's what we're building. Blind. So idea, product idea. Blind, but for rebels. And this is this is where my acronym comes in. Remember, I named the project SegTau. So that's a play on another acronym called MegTau, which is it was like this weird online community 4 or 5 years ago. It might still be alive, of men being completely blackpilled on dating online, and they couldn't get any matches on Tinder or whatnot. And they just said, fuck it, I'm not going to date. I'm not going to use these dating apps. I'm going to go my own way. So similarly, we're calling this SegTau for now, because it's for coders who are going their own way. It's coders going their own way. It's coders. It's coders with agency / ambition to do their own thing. Right? If you don't want to get that stable salary, if you want to do your own startup, your own indie hacker project, it's most likely. Some people will want to do their own startup, but I feel like, judging just based on like the amount of conversations I've had with coders, they tend to be they're ambitious in this restrained way, where maybe they don't want to take on the risk of millions of dollars in venture capital. They still want to own their own story and their own life, though. And that's why I think indie hacking is so attractive. Now, you might be thinking, like, isn't this kind of like indie hackers? I literally had that thought, like, isn't this indie hackers? Isn't that what that community is about? Well, I don't want to build that. I don't know about you, but I haven't checked indie hackers in a long while. Literally, as I'm typing it in right now, it was like 3 years since I watched this site. I hope it's going well. I'm just not using it. I tend to use Twitter. I think that's a really good platform right now with the Elon takeover. I feel like the energy is really good on Twitter, and that's basically where you want to hang if you identify as an ambitious software engineer. But so we're not going to try to build like a Twitter or indie hackers here. Essentially, we're just going to build a membership, because this is not just for indie hackers. This is for people who want to find an asymmetric opportunity in startups. So it could even be like, you've heard that the best opportunities are not on LinkedIn right now. Maybe you've heard this, maybe you haven't. If you haven't, let me tell you right now. If you're applying to jobs on LinkedIn, you're missing out big time. If that's the only thing you're doing, you're missing out big time, okay? Here's a tweet. I know more people that were hired through X and a Discord server than through LinkedIn. I've said this before, but LinkedIn is like as tracked as you can get. Yes, you might get a job from LinkedIn, but I don't think you just want a job, because after 3 months, if you have any sort of soul, you're going to be like, am I just working for money? Am I just in this fluorescent lit cubicle, or even they're open offices now, right? But am I in this fluorescent lit office with a bunch of dudes I have nothing in common with except for this programming language? They're not ambitious. They're not thinking about their future. We just happen to be in the same office, and we're eating microwaved food in plastic boxes, pretending we're having a good time together. Yes, if you want that, continue using LinkedIn. If you want more, if you want to work on a project that might be worth hundreds of millions or a billion, or maybe even, a decade unicorn opportunity, you don't want to be searching on LinkedIn, because those sorts of companies, at a stage where you actually want to join them before they get to that fluorescent lit atmosphere type of culture, you're not going to find them on LinkedIn. But because by the time they're on LinkedIn, it's too late. You don't want to join them. You want to join Reddit before it was Reddit. How do you find them? You find them on X, you find them on Discord servers, especially in Web3, which is where I'm working, or at least tangentially where I'm working right now is in Web3. So this Segtile project will be a community for sharing that sort of alpha. So Segtile is for coders with agency and ambition. And really the main offer is, here's the offer. Find Reddit before it becomes Reddit. Does that make sense? Like, if you want to join a startup before, right at the right moment, you need to be on Twitter, you need to be on Discord. So you're going to join a community, and it's going to be a Telegram, because I'm so sick of Discord, that shares good ops. Okay. You're going to be sharing alpha. It's an alpha community for alpha coders. Double meaning. Here's another tweet. Community hires are so much better than cold hires, and compensation is also way more with community hires. This is something I've talked about as well. It's not enough to just be scouting. You also need to engage, right? You need to be posting on Twitter. You need to be active in these sorts of Discords that you actually think you want to join. So if there's a space that you think is promising, you can't just be looking for job posts. That's not enough. You got to ingrain your name, your Twitter handle in other people's minds. And that's actually not as hard as it sounds. And that's what this community is for. It's for helping each other do that. Because this is what I did, right? I was sick of traditional corporate, and I went out and did this. I went into Discord servers. I went on Twitter. I did what I'm talking about here, which is saying, fuck big tech, fuck corporate tech. That's soul sucking. I don't want to work with guys and gals that are 10 years older than me and have no plans for their future. I want to be around people like me. So that's what this community is for. Hopefully that clarifies the idea. So now we can start building it. And in terms of what we're going to be building, it's really simple. the product is a Telegram, right? So technically, all we need is like a landing page. Let me do that right now. I'm going to create a frame. Let's do the iPhone 15. Because, I mean, everyone's on their phone nowadays. Every high-level person I know is just on their phone. They don't have a laptop. They're running their whole life and business from their phone. And that's like a goal I have, by the way. Like I want to be able to run my entire life and business from my phone in like six months. I'm almost there. You know, coding is a bit harder. It's possible through the GitHub app. And you can do like API calls to OpenAI's Whisper API. And if you use, I don't have my phone here now, but if you use the shortcut button on the iPhone 15 Pro, you can dictate using Whisper. I might do a video on that later. But it's like, you can make your phone in a lot of ways faster than your keyboard, because I think I can talk faster than I can actually type. I think that's the case for most people. So let's name this frame landing page. And what else are we going to need? Well, the landing page is communicating this offer. It's going to have the copy. It's going to tell the user what this community is about, what the product is about. Of course, it's going to be dark mode, because who are we selling to? Are you guys paying attention? I'm trying to teach you how to think, how to make money. Who are you selling to? This is what you need to ask yourself. In our case, it's developers. Okay. So as we put in our hero text here, we need to keep this in mind. What are we going to call our developer? I'm going to call him Jared. Okay. Jared is a 24-year-old. Actually, let's make him 21-year-old developer. Jared is sick of his boring dev job. Jared is sick of not having like-minded friends. Okay. I'm basically describing 21-year-old me. So that's how I know this character so well. Jared wants to find a community to grow in. Okay. Jared, last thing, loves dark mode because he's a developer, of course. So leave your soul sucking dev job behind. We're just going to put that as a placeholder H1 for now. Make it 64 pixels big. That's too big. Let's make it 32. And let's make it bold. Yes. So we're designing the landing page for this community product, okay? If you just join this stream, we're shipping a profitable web app today, hopefully within just a few hours. So it's going to be bold. It could even be black. Let's make it black. Let's center the text. And luckily, we got some Figma practice in our last live stream, so this is going pretty smoothly. I'm not going to call this app actually Segtile. We need to find a better name. But for now, we're going to call it Segtile. Unless you guys have any ideas for it. But yeah, I feel like it's a bit too cringe to play it on that acronym. 1 second. I have some notes here because I literally came up with this idea on my walk 2 days ago after the last live stream. And I made some notes on like copy because we've already made this. If you're a developer and you're looking at this, you're like, you have made zero progress. What are you doing? You haven't built anything yet. We've literally just copied this GitHub template that we bought for $200. Well, I would disagree. I think we've made a lot of progress because we've identified our customer profile. If you read any sort of business book, it's like the thing to do. You need to identify who you're selling to. So we've identified Jared, 21-year-old developer. And the other thing we've done is we've started thinking about copy. Copywriting is huge. It is what converts your ideal customer to a paying customer. Okay. And so this copy made me laugh, which that can be a good thing. You don't want to be too over the top neither. So that's why I'm going to look at my copy notes, as I said, that I jotted down on my walk. I love Apple Notes. It's a great app for quick capture. It's just a bit hard to find your notes sometimes because I have a lot of Apple Notes. I have a lot of Apple Notes. But I hope this is helpful for you guys to see this building process in real time. Okay, here we go. Yes, I found my notes. Awesome. So I'm going to refine the offer here. Shit. We got the H1. Now we just need to refine the body text. The body text should be regular. It should be smaller, maybe 16. And what I wrote down is finding ways to make a living outside traditional corporate path as a software engineer. To make a living. And I think that sums it up pretty well. But let me give this guy some padding. Let's make the padding here a bit bigger. Padding, padding, padding. So much for that tutorial we went through, right? No, here it is. Padding. 16. Boom. I'm not sure if that looks better. I'm just going to leave it, but I'm going to make this 70% in opacity. 75. Cool. I'm also gonna make this slightly less black. Let's make it 18, 18, 18. Yeah, we're gonna revise the copy. But this is the landing page we got so far. Leave your soul-sucking dev job behind. Find ways to make a living outside the traditional corporate path as a software engineer. Does that sound exciting? I hope it does. So remember, we are selling a community. Okay. I went to a seminar when I was in LA that talked about how we need people at all levels. If we want to grow as people, we need people who are above us. We also need people who are at our level, because people are above us, aka mentors, are not going to be able to give us time and care all of the time. So for the rest of the time, you need people at your level with the same ambition level that can hold you accountable. It's accountability buddies. That's really what good friends are. And then you also need people below you, which is interesting. You might not have thought about this, but you also need friends who you are helping, because when you are helping others, it's actually selfish to a degree. It's helping you solidify your understanding of how to grow. It's helping you gain karma, if you want to frame it that way. So you need people at all levels above you, mentors, accountability buddies. That's your community. That's what we're selling. And then you need people to teach. Cool. I think I'm going to do these frames, like sections of the landing page as a frame, separate frames. So remember, we're selling a Telegram community. Of course, we're going to have to screen this. We can't let in anyone, which means part of the web app that we're building needs to do like account management. If we want to be really no code about this, we could use a tool like Typeform and have each visitor go through the Typeform where we qualify them, and we make sure they're this customer profile that we just outlined. What's your age? And now I'm not going to screen on age. If you're 17 or if you're 30, I think that's fine, as long as you have the ambition of our customer profile, which is you're not quite where you want to be right now. You have a good paying developer job, but you either want to, and these are the options. So it's like possible paths that Jared wants to go down. It's like join an early no BS / Web3 startup. It's and why I write Web3 is because it's like the niche right now where, as a young guy that's ambitious and you don't want to feel neutered at work, most likely you're going to find a startup that fits you in Web3, but you could probably find an AI startup as well. So I'm going to put AI there. So that's one path. I mean, that's what I did initially as I left the traditional corporate path. The other path is like, you're just going to indie hack, build and sell software online / indie hack. indie hack / Sun Software Online. That's a possible path. And then the third path would be, I just want to start a startup. VC startup, right? Because indie hack, I think it's presumed that it's not venture funded. So these are like the possible paths to break out, right? And this is what we need to screen for. As long as they have one of these ambitions, I think they're qualified for the community. We just need to qualify that they have an ambition. And this brings us to the concept of funnels. So I'm going to make another text box here. And we're going to make this text bigger. And we're going to talk about the funnel. Funnel, Segtile funnel. Okay, what's a funnel? A funnel is the journey that your customer goes through. Where do they start? Let's say you watching this, you are a potential community member for Segtile. Well, we want to check if that's the case. Maybe you've been reading this customer profile and you're like, nope, this is not me at all. I'm very happy with my Google Meta job right now. I'm making 300K. I don't want to join some bullshit community. So if that's the case, we want to make sure that you're not joining. And if it is the case, we want to make sure that you have the possibility of joining. So that's the funnel. That's the purpose of the funnel. So maybe you start on YouTube, right? I'm getting more active on YouTube. I'm doing these streams. This is very meta right now because obviously I am doing YouTube. What happens after YouTube? Well, maybe they go to landing page. What happens after that? It's like ... profit. No. After the landing page, because this is a specific, you can have multiple funnels for your product. This is the warm funnel, right? Why is it warm? Well, if you're coming from YouTube, they already know a bit about me. And they know what I'm about, what my values are. So that's why we call it warm. Cold would be like coming from, I don't know, Google search, right? If you're running ads, which I'm not going to do. That would be cold. But warm is YouTube. They've been watching you, or it could be Twitter, X. They get on the landing page, and then they are screened, type form. And the landing page, it takes them to the type form. Then what happens then? We evaluate the visitor, and they can either go into the Telegram group chat, or here's where I'm not entirely sure. I think I want to do a call, especially in the beginning when we're not at a big scale. I really want this community to be elite, and I don't feel like you can get a good sense of a person just through a type form. It's the initial screening. But yeah, I would love to do a call, if nothing else, to just get to know the person so that you can have a better experience. So it's like free call happens if they qualify in the type form. And if the call goes well, if we feel like we're vibing, then they get invited to Telegram, right? So that's the funnel. So, well, yeah. This is very much aligned with the do things that don't scale maxim that Paul Graham has talked at length about. Because if you think about it, there's not a lot of code here. There's not a lot of tech. YouTube is a no-code tool. Typeform is a no-code tool. Call, that's Google Meets, that's a no-code tool. Telegram, no-code tool. Now we want to integrate this somehow with our web app. But the point here is we're doing things that don't scale. I'm just going to write that because it's important. Doing things that don't scale. All right. $32. Awesome. I feel like programming is a better phrase. Okay, cool. Let's tidy this up a bit. You know what? Instead of making these whole phone frames, I'm going to make them smaller frames that we can put next to each other. So I guess we're getting a part 2 in Figma design here. How do I make this frame smaller? Height 420. Awesome. Can make it even smaller perhaps. Oh, I guess that's good. Center it there somewhere. Then I'm gonna make these hug the contents. I'm gonna make you hug the contents. Then I'm gonna add some gap. Add a gap in the frame. I might need to make the text a bit smaller, 28. Yeah. Then lastly, we're gonna add some padding here. Boom. Just like this is the H1, and we're not even thinking about making it visually interesting. We are, I guess we are to some degree because we just made a lot of margin edits. But we're primarily thinking about copy. What do we want to convey to a new visitor? So this is like landing page hero, right? What happens afterwards when they scroll down? It's landing page offer 1, component 1, which would be join a community of ambitious hackers. No, that's cringe. Of ambitious founders and devs. Highly screened elites pool of like-minded devs, right? And then the third one is like book a free call, something like that, where they go through the type form. So the flow would look something like this. Yeah, I need to hash this out, but that's essentially the landing page. So if we go back to our code, how do we implement this? Well, the first thing that we want to do is we want to change the landing page content. Actually, I think what we want to do here is just get straight how the authentication is gonna work with the membership. Because I've been in a couple of communities like this. And what I don't want to do, if there's one thing I want to avoid, it's this feeling of it being too manual. So I think something that does this very well is Exponent. Exponent, and as I said, Blind as well. But Exponent, they have a whole account management system. You can log in. You can see your payment plan. Everything's very transparent. So I want a view like this where, yeah, you can see if you're a member. You can see if your status is pending. You can see other members. This just made me think about another tool that we could use, which is School. Right. It's funny. It's like a very specific type of community that you find on School. So I'm not sure if it's like a vibe match, but we could actually use this. Wouldn't that be fun? Like, we just don't. Like, if we actually end up not coding anything, to be honest, I feel like that would be a good lesson if we can ship this entire product without writing a single line of code. That would be funny. We might just end up building this on School. But since this is a coding live stream, I'm gonna just walk through this code template that we just bought so that you guys can at least get a sense of if you also want to buy this. So again, the product is Ship Fast. Ship Fast is a bundle of a bunch of tech, and it's shipped as a GitHub repo. So when you buy it, you get access to this repo. You can then git clone it and create your own Nextjs project, which we just did here, and we have it running on our local server. And in it, you get a bunch of stuff from the get-go. If we have a look in app, if you know Nextjs, you'll know that your base page will be an app. So we can write something here. It's time to build. Hot reload. And just for the heck of it, let's say we actually want to hook up Google. How do we do that? Sign in with Google. I think what we should do in that case is just read the documentation, not be too stubborn. Okay, so we've done this. Next, we should copy the env. Boom. Let's check it out. Here it is, env local. So next auth is already configured. This is interesting. So he's saying go to, before we do this, right? Go to app.page or /page and just paste in this in. Okay, let's see what that gives us. Where did you just go? Here? Oh shit, I need to start a server. So this essentially is the landing page, right? The suspense. Let's see how good this landing page is. Okay, that is pretty good. Yeah, because I was a bit disappointed when I saw that previous screen with just a sign-in button. I was like, you can do better than this. Okay, so this is actually a great template. We can use this for sure. Oh yeah, dude, it has like everything we need. This is awesome. Yep. And it's a one-page design. Objections, awesome. This is exactly what we need. And we just need to like replace the content that is here. Yeah, because I was a bit disappointed when I saw this. I bought this for $200 and he just put a button here and a bunch of docs. No. As we said, we're buying time. Imagine the time it would have taken us to do this. People don't get this. If they're not developers, they're like, oh, it was just a page. This must have taken a day. And to be fair, you could do it in a day. But if you're working and all you have is afternoons and weekends, a day is a lot of time. A day is a lot more time than people realize. So your time is scarce and valuable. Let's continue with the tutorial. Three. Oh, that's awesome. He's saying each component has tips to help you write copy that sells. Well, this guy gets it. That's what we started this live stream with. We were like, all you need is copy that sells. All you need is copy that sells. You don't even need a landing page. You just need copy. You can text them to write copy and they will pay you. So this guy gets it. I don't see any copy tips here, but maybe it's in the other components. Yeah. Well, this is interesting. Let's actually see what he has written here. Problem agitation. So that would be this. A crucial yet overlooked component for a landing page that sells. It goes under your hero section. and above your feature sections. Right, so this is the feature section, and this is the problem section. Now, a quick point. I think it depends a bit on if your traffic is cold or warm. If it's entirely cold, you need to spend a lot of time on the problem. You need to tell them, this is the problem, okay? You have a problem. This is how the problem works. Can you see the problem? If they're a bit more warm, like coming from YouTube or X, you don't need to spend as much time talking about the problem. They're problem aware. They might not be solution aware, but they're problem aware. So then you can spend more time on what? This part, the product. And that's just a quick point, but let's see what he writes about the problem section. I think it's pretty safe to always have a problem section, you know? It's like advanced to start thinking about what sections to exclude. Let's just include it. Your heroes section makes a promise to the customer. Right, so that's this. Our product will help you achieve XYZ. Your problem section explains what happens to the customer if its problem isn't solved. So let's try this thought experiment for the Segtao product. Our promise, and we can like map this to what we did here. So hero section. Our hero section is, we help you leave your soul-sucking programming job behind. Okay, that's a cool promise. Our problem section. See, we already made a mistake in the Figma, so it's actually good that we're reading through these tips. There should be a section before our product section, which is problem. What's the problem? What happens if they don't, if their problem isn't solved? And he writes here, your copy should never mention your product. Instead, it should dig into the emotional outcome of not fixing a problem. For instance, the hero for ShipFast is, ShipFast helps developers launch startups fast. The problem agitation is developers spend too much time adding features, get overwhelmed, and quit. What's the problem agitation for Jared? Let's think about this. I'm really enjoying this, by the way. Like, I'm glad I bought this product. Which is interesting. You know, I bought it for $200 and I'm glad I bought it. So that's something to think about. That's an experience you want for your customers. What's the problem agitation for Jared? Developers become numb in paths that don't resonate. Maybe not even paths. It's like, really what I'm trying to get at is like, there's a certain type of person who needs, in my humble opinion, this is everyone. But to be a bit more humble, I'm just going to say there's a percentage of people who desperately need to follow their agency. Their agency. And if they don't, they get depressed. Developers become depressed in golden handcuffs. That's the problem, agitation. Devs become depressed in golden handcuffs. Maybe we can even put a figure here. That would be nice. 100K plus. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty funny. So that's the problem, agitation. And then you have features. Okay, awesome. Segtile is a small, highly selected group of elite engineers with similar goals. And what are those similar goals? Life mastery, doing your own thing, and thriving. whether the vehicle is joining an early stage startup, starting a VC startup, or indie hacking and selling your own software online. It boils down to life mastery, doing your own thing, and thriving. That's way too much copy, but we're going to break that up. So that's the features section. Cool. Really helpful. Pricing. Pricing is the next section. Are you guys realizing I'm still not coding? This is what you need to do if you're going to make money. You can't just start coding. This is what I started by saying. Most software engineers, when they have an idea, they open up Visual Studio Code and they just start building. And they have like some random new technology they want to try. You're not trying to make money. That's fine. You can do that. But you're not making money doing that. You're learning tech, which means you're becoming a better software engineering cog, to be frank. You're specializing yourself. You're becoming a better piece in the machinery that is large tech companies, but you're not getting closer to making money online your own way. Okay, this is the pricing section. Pricing displays the pricing plans for your app. It's your Stripe config that will be used to display the plans. Oh, that's awesome. So if you go into config, wow. This is awesome. And I mean, this has been solved. Don't try to innovate on the pricing page. If you guys remember when I was buying ShipFast, if we look at that page again, ship fast. I got to this section and it actually sold me, right? It actually sold me on the more expensive plan. I bought this $200 plan in like 30 seconds. And you could see me considering buying the cheaper plan. And I was like, I'm not sure if I need the Discord community. And you could see me. If you just joined, you could literally go back in this live stream and see me being sold in real time by this landing page. I'm going to do that after I finish this stream because that's valuable to see someone get sold by copy. Now, how did I get sold? It was this piece here. You have these three blurred out. And I was like, ChatGPT prompts, I don't need that. Claude is better. I don't need ChatGPT. Discord, I kind of hate Discord. I don't need Discord. But then, boom, lifetime updates. And I saw lifetime updates with this pill. I think the pill is the key thing. So I'm going to screenshot this as a reminder to myself. By the way, best screenshot tool, not sponsored. You should get it anyway. CleanShot X. I use this all the time. Boom, look at that. I can just draw an arrow. So I want that arrow to be blue. Higher contrast. Boom, I'm gonna save this in the pricing. So you have pricing here. Check. We need to do that. Now, this doesn't have that particular design, but we could add a pill. Super easy. Now, what would be our pill offer? Like the equivalent of 24/7 support in this community is interesting. We could do this exercise real quick. So it's like, if we do 2 frames here, and exactly, we put them side by side. Boom. We're going to have 2 options. So it's starter, then it's advanced. The starter would have Telegram group chat access. I'm going to make these left aligned. So you get that in both. Okay, cool. What else do you get? I think I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on. I'm gonna get into more detail on this, but since the community is about going your own path, I'm gonna give you my experience of doing that in, I think, like a short video playlist on Vimeo or YouTube or something. Video guide for leaving big tech. Like the possible paths, you know. Can we increase this 20? But then the advanced needs something that the other one doesn't have. And that could be personal support. personal hotline. No, it's like, it would be cool to have one-on-one calls. Chat/calls with us. I would love to do that. Because I actually get something out of this as well, which is like a community of fucking killers. I want to meet you guys. I want to talk with you, maybe even do meetups. So yeah, this product actually excites me. You know, it's not some random SaaS tool. It's about humans, which really excites me. So we need to do that. You also really need to have a pill here. Let me add the pill real quick. Rectangle. Boom. Fill. Take this color, make it border radius 12 or 999. Add some text. Exclusive. Limited. You could have a count. That would be cool. Like 3 spots left. You know? Ooh, that would be cool. Let's frame that. Frame. How did I frame? Shift A. There you go. Yeah, you get the point. Awesome. So now we've gone through the pricing page. Then we have a frequently asked questions page. So that's another page we forgot about. Boom. Frequently asked questions. Just import the frequently asked questions and add your own content. So that's like objections. We could add some common objections, which is, what would be a good objection to this? To this community? I think a good objection could be, I mean, maybe you guys have an idea of how you would object to this sort of community that we're building here. But I think myself would be like, can I get a refund? Can I get a refund? Because what if I get into the chat and it's just a bunch of lame dudes? And that leads to the other objection, which is, what are the criteria to join? So can I get a refund? Yes. Within 7 days. No questions asked. What are the criteria? That would be for the advanced. Actually, no. We do personalized screenings. Be ambitious. So you be ambitious. You don't need to have accomplished all your goals yet, but you need to have them. Awesome. What's the third objection? What did he have here? Refund. What do I get? See the pricing page. No, that's lame. I don't know. But you get the point. It's just objections. And I think objections are really, really important to address. Objections are important to address, yes. Okay, guys, getting a bit tired here, but I'm having fun. We're almost done going through this product. The last page is the CTA, or the last section. And we already did that in Figma here. CTA, book a free call. I don't think it should say, I don't know. It should have a last, like, good copy, but it's like, request access. Could be the CTA. Yeah, and developers tend to be a bit introverted, so I don't think it should say book a free call. It should say like, start a new path. Thrive. Then don't waste more time going down a don't waste more time being depressed. Something like that. So that's pretty solid, right? Hero, leave your soul-sucking programming job behind. Problem agitations. Dev become depressed in their 100K golden handcuffs. Devs are purposeless, aimless. Make 100K plus but remain completely capped and aimless. But are aimless and limiting their growth. Yeah. But are aimless and stunting their growth. Yeah. Golden handcuffs. Are a bitch. I might get delisted. I feel like I've sworn quite a bit in this stream. If that's the case, we're just going to move over to stream on Twitch. Features. Now you've presented the problem. What are the features? You join a community of ambitious founders and developers. SIGTOW is a small, highly selected group of elite engineers with similar goals. Grandiose goals. Whether the vehicle is joining an early stage startup, starting a VC startup, or so raising VC money, or indie hacking and sell your own software online. So whether your preferred vehicle is joining an early stage. I feel like this could be in the frequently asked question. Yeah. This is good, actually. So in the frequently asked questions section, an objection could be like, well, what do I get? What is this shit? And the answer is, whether your preferred vehicle is joining an early stage startup, raising VC money, or hacking and selling your own software online, it boils down to joining a supporting tribe that values, that will hold you accountable, and values life mastery, doing your own thing, and thriving. That's pretty good copy. Yeah, then you got the landing page, sorry, the pricing page. You get the group chat, you get the step-by-step guide, and in the advanced plan, you also get personal calls. And then lastly, we have a CTA. Beautiful. So I'm certainly happy with making this purchase of ShipFast just based on the tips that are in these components. Like, this alone is so valuable. Let's just reread it. Problem agitation is a crucial yet overlooked component for a landing page that sells. Remember, the landing page only job is to sell. You just need to sell. ShipFast sold me. I came in as semi-warm traffic from a podcast with Mark, and it sold me. It has your hero, which is the promise of the product. Ship your startup in days, not weeks. It has a problem statement, which is like these stats of wasted time. It has a feature section telling you about how you get payments and authentication. It has this. This is actually something that the template doesn't have, but we should definitely add this, which is after features, there should be a page for us. Who am I? And you might know a bit about me if you're coming from YouTube or something, but still, hey, it's Gus Wave. And I'll have a bio here. So it's like in 2020, in the winter, no, in 2020, it was a cold, depressing winter in Sweden. And I had been and I had been working on a soul-sucking, working in a soul-sucking big tech job for over a year without making, well, I can definitely make this copy better later, but we should have an image of me. So let me just bring up an image. Should be an image of me that is relatable. And you can still see my face. Maybe I should take my GitHub image. Width 120. I don't know if that works. I should pick another image maybe. I'll work on the image, but you get the point. If the product is reliant on you as a traffic source or involves you, which it definitely does in our case with the community, I mean, I'll be curating the community and talking with you guys. It should definitely have an about page, and you can see ShipFast doing that. Even though ShipFast is a software product, you have an about section, probably because Mark himself is like a big driver in the traffic. And then he has a video demo, which, yeah, maybe we should have a video page as well. We could put that. We could put that after the about page, or even on the about page, and like instead of it being a text, it's a video. You could do both. You could do both for sure. I think what we'll do now though is like copy my, hey look, it's us. That's a funny thumbnail, but we could copy this, copy this link, because I feel like this is fairly representative of what we're going after. This is sort of story, although I'm probably going to record a new video for this landing page, but okay. I'm going to take a screenshot of this just so that we have something for the design. And the width can be 420. Maybe 380. Man, we're getting so much done. We're launching a product and we're not even mid through the day yet. Okay, so we've modeled, oh yeah, you should definitely have testimonials. Maybe you can have testimonials underneath the video. Let's try that. See how that looks. Testimonials are important. They're social proof, right? They're telling the visitor that other people think this is good and legit. So it's important. Then you have pricing. Now, what are we actually going to price this as? I think for starter, I'll do 12 a month. Advanced, I'll do, well, shit. If we're going to do one-on-one calls, I'm going to have to think about this, but I mean, if we're not doing one-on-one calls, I think we can do just one-on-one DMs, so it's async. Then we can do 99. Yeah. Shit. How do I fix this padding? Come on, Figma. Let's fix this padding. 0. Still too much. There you go. So 12 or 99. I mean, that's a big gap. But we're going to work on that. And then you have frequently asked questions, just like he does. And then just the testimonials wall. Okay. Let's make this wide. Slightly smaller. There you go. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. It's a good sales funnel. Well, a landing page is what it is. But man, it's going to be fun. I'm going to have to do a part 2 where I actually build this out. But look, we got the design for the product in like what? How long have we been going? 2 hours? Yeah, 2 hours. That's not too bad. I think I'll probably just grab lunch and then keep going. But thank you for tuning in. I hope you get a better idea of what actually matters when launching a digital product, whether it's software or a community or both. You need to think about your ideal customer. You need to think about the offer. You need to think about sales funnels, copywriting, and then you think about the product, and you think about building, and you think about the tech. But modeling after ship fast, which is arguably an elite landing page, you're not going to go wrong. This is, I mean, this is making, what was it, 100K per month, over $1 million per year, just in one-time sales. You're not gonna go wrong if you're modeling yourself after this. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next stream. Bye.